you're the football debate show on YouTube.
Mhm.
A lot of things to talk about in what football today. There's of course what's going on in the Premier League. The Premier League, I feel like these past 2 weeks have been fantastic. The
Mhm.
Chelsea resurrection. You're talking about Man City being dominant all over again. You're talking about United
Yeah.
failing. You're talking about then you go over to La Liga and you've got Real Madrid and how they were able to bounce back. You of course have
Mhm.
Barcelona and they've been playing amazing football. We of course are
Yeah.
now is what the 28th of August, last few days of the transfer window, but we're gonna get into it. And
Mhm.
we're gonna try and cover all the things.
That is amazing. That is amazing. We are ready to talk football, man. Hope you
Yeah,
guys are ready to listen to us, man.
and
We are in the groove, man. There's a lot to talk about.
I think I've always said like this time the last few weeks of August and the start of September is my favorite time of the
Mhm.
season.
Why? What makes you your favorite time?
It's just you get such a long break from football, and then when it comes back, it's just full throttle. It's just everything's back on.
Yeah.
It's like the
Everything you missed.
yeah, all the new transfers, everything else is where teams are able to make like this is where you begin to see the great teams really going for it. But yeah, we're gonna cover all these topics, but we're gonna start with Real Madrid and the problems they may be having right now. And
Mhm.
if these are problems that they should really be worrying about, you of course have Jude Bellingham being injured, but we'll talk about that a bit later on. But are these problems we should be worried about, or are these things that can easily be solved?
Mhm. You see, the thing about Real Madrid is when you have a squad depth of Real Madrid and the caliber of players you have in Real Madrid, that means on every international duty, there's a possibility 80% of your squad would be on international duty. So that means even though you have amazing talent,
Yeah,
you still sacrifice amazing talent to go what help their national teams.
yeah,
Some teams have the luxury of having players stay back, probably because they haven't reached the level of being in the national team, or probably because of personal reasons or whatever. But Real Madrid doesn't have that luxury. So coming into this season, one of my biggest concerns was the fact that the overload of football over the summer and players having to go help their teams in like international duties and players going up to the finals for Real Madrid and up to the finals for other teams, there is going to be an inflow of injuries depending because of the overload of like football or because of the overload of pressure on the players. And I feel like Real Madrid is the first team to like start facing that with the Jude Bellingham team. And I think part of the reason Real Madrid is finding it difficult to kind of start the season with the same tenacity a team like Barcelona is starting the season is partly because most of our players are tired. Our starting 11, Carvajal went upwards. Carvajal went to the final of the Europa and won it.
yeah.
Him being one of the pivotal players in the Europa.
And
Uh,
Bellingham was there as well.
Kylian, Bellingham was in the final. Kylian was up to the semi-final. Vini Jr. was in Brazil doing what he does with Brazil up to a quarterfinals, right? Or the semis.
Yeah, it doesn't really count.
Yeah. Okay. And there's the Jude Bellinghams, there's the Valverdes, there's who? Chouamini, who was also there in the Euros.
Yeah,
These are five. There's what?
Camavinga,
Luka Kamavinga, there's Luka Modric with Croatia in the
Rudiger
Euros, like
with
Rudiger
Germany. Yeah,
with Alemania, Germany. There's who? His centre back pairing, Militao.
Militao.
The
Yes.
other side, you see, we have a host of players. Almost everybody in our starting 11, aside probably Courtois, who was injured, had to represent their team. So there's that fatigue and tiredness. But I hope they are able to like, find a way to like, ignite the spirit in the team. I like the fact that the front line is playing for each other. They are being too passive, and I feel like Mbappe is putting himself under too much pressure, wanting to be, wanting to score his goal or like his first goal for the team.
Yeah.
He needs to just relax and like let the game come to him.
That was one of the things when I was analyzing the game. Is like Mbappe. He looks like he's trying to force things too much, And in a sense, it's like you're of course going to try your hardest to try and score. You're of course going to try your hardest to
Mm-hmm.
try and score your own goal. But for a player like
Yeah.
Mbappe, I'm pretty sure, not in things in life, you shouldn't take things for granted. But Mbappe is going to score a lot
Mm-hmm.
of goals for Real Madrid. My
Yeah.
expectation and really standards for Mbappe is for him to finish within the top four greatest Real Madrid scorers. I want him to be right there with
Facts.
Benzema, Ronaldo, and Raul, and he
Mm-hmm.
and he has the potential to do that. But right now, it just looks forced.
Facts.
The goal is going to come through.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not too worried about that. And really and truly, my
Mm-hmm.
problem isn't really with Barcelona. Because yeah, Bellingham being injured, I mean, isn't really with Real Madrid. It's more with Barcelona. I'm going to talk about
Mm-hmm.
Barcelona more in a second. But yeah, Bellingham being injured, that of course, I think that's a very good analysis. That is of course going to
Mm-hmm.
be a side effect of the tremendous amount of football these players are playing, and it just comes back to that
Yeah.
question of like, um, you know, not to call anyone out in a sense, but at the same time, UEFA and La Liga and all these corporations, at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, they're all businesses. Yes, they are
Yeah.
trying to deliver the best footballing product possible, but
Mm-hmm.
that comes at a cost of all of these players being overplayed
Yep.
to a point where you get injuries like Bellingham. I remember a few years ago, we all know what happened to Pedri with him playing in the
Mm-hmm.
Euros, the whole season, the
Mm-hmm.
Olympics, that he came back and
It
was,
took him 2 years to get right.
yeah, like he was so skinny. He did not look like a professional top player anymore. So that is of course going to happen. But is there anything else you want to say about Real Madrid and before we move on to Barcelona?
No, I just feel like we need to get our shit together, with all of this squad depth and how good the league is becoming. I feel like anything less than a La Liga this season is a failure for Real Madrid. We can't be going against people who are going through financial crisis
Yeah,
and going through all of their situations and still make it feel like it's a competition. It's time we take the
yeah,
bull by the horn. When we were going through our crisis, in 10 years, Barcelona won the league, I think, 6 times in 10 years.
hmm,
And we had to share the four with Atletico. You get me? So that
yeah.
means when we go through our stuff, Barcelona capitalizes and really demolishes the league. But when they go through their stuff, on our watch, they were able to win a league title.
Like yeah, last year should have never happened. That was poor.
You understand me? They were able, that was last 2 years. Last year
Yeah,
we won.
I'm saying last year, like as in 2023.
Okay, okay. Okay, okay. You understand me. So it is crazy like that. So like yeah, that is all I have to say about Real Madrid. Ancelotti also has the pattern of having a great season and fumbling 2 seasons in a row, or having two great seasons and fumbling a season. So I don't want this to be the case in this situation. I want him to bow out gracefully.
Yeah, and this is something that we talked about at the start of the season when the Mbappe deal first happened, and this is something we'll keep talking about throughout the whole season. We might, guys, to be honest, we might talk about Real Madrid every single week. Like that's going to be the case. The biggest team in world football with the best squad. We might talk about them every single week, or on this on the Footy Experts. But
Hmm.
the big thing is just the expectation. Your team is so good, and like it, they just won. They just won, and this is part of the reason why I'm not going too much on Real Madrid, and I think this is like a perfect segue, because the other team, Barcelona, the team that we've been pointing the finger at, the team that I've been very
Hmm.
critical of throughout the whole summer, even when they won the league, I was critical of them that year, but they still managed to win the league. And the thing that you said is really how I feel about what Man City have been able to do to Manchester United. It's like when
Hmm.
your rivals are down and you're the two biggest teams in the league in the country,
Hmm.
this is when you need to make the most out of it.
Absolutely.
This is
Yeah.
when this is your time to absolutely dominate and squeeze every single ounce of
Hmm.
success that you can because the competition level is down.
Facts. Hmm.
And again, this isn't really anything to do with Real Madrid per se for now. It's just
Hmm.
my point here is that I'm trying to praise Barcelona because the football they're playing right now is fantastic. With all the problems they've
Facts.
had, with the speculation of them not being able to sign
Hmm.
Dani Olmo into the team, Barcelona have been
Yeah.
able to stay consistent and they've been able to play some amazing football. And I think that's
Amazing football.
yeah, and I know it's only been 2 games, but I think we shouldn't overlook that
Hmm.
Because
Yeah.
if this keeps progressing, like Real Madrid dropping points in their first game, Mbappe not yet scoring
Mhm.
goals, Bellingham getting injured,
Mhm.
it's like these small things that begin to pile up and derail your season. The points that you drop now
Facts.
that end up derailing your season.
Mhm.
Again, no
Yeah.
time to over analyze. But again, you have to look at what you have in front of you, and what we see right now
Facts.
is Barcelona, a team that was struggling and that now are playing great football. And this is
Mhm.
really at its core what this Barcelona team or this Barcelona club have been in their core. Because a lot of people they make the
Facts.
argument that Real Madrid are the biggest club, but Barcelona play the best football. So
Mhm.
it's gonna be very interesting to see how but these two teams in like in
Mhm.
polar opposite extremes in their
Mhm.
these clubs, excuse me, in their progression, how they're gonna be able to compete against
Mhm.
each other.
Yeah. That is very true. And I would give all of the credit to the Barcelona coach. He seems to be a very tactical presence in the squad.
Yeah,
Like, there's a lot of things that were ongoing under Xavi, and this is no knock to Xavi, that were ongoing under Xavi that wouldn't fly under this Barcelona coach.
yeah,
You understand me? He seems to be comfortable with like putting players out of position. The new role that he has Rafinha playing. When the starting lineup comes, how many times have you seen Rafinha in the number 10 role?
hmm,
You get me? Linking up with the Ferran Torreses and linking up with the Yamil Yamals. Rafinha is playing, how would I say? He's playing matured football.
yeah,
And that is what all credit to the coach finding out that a Rafinha can have a performance like that in that role and pushing players to play in the positions out of their comfort zones. You get me? And I'll talk back to when they substituted Danny Olmo. When Danny Olmo came into play, even though Ferran Torres was doing good, he wasn't exceptional. Yamin Yamal was being used more than Ferran Torres was being used.
yeah,
And Lewandowski isn't giving them that striker's presence up front. He's what losing touches and making mistakes. You understand me? And that is something that I actually watched with Lewandowski from last season, and it entered into this season. You get me? But I would say the midfield presence of Pedri and Bernal, the youngster,
yeah,
was just exceptional. This coach has been able to bring three youngsters into this current team, and they are playing amazing football. Kubarsi, Martin, Bernal, all are living up to the expectations. All are living up to their performances in what? The preseason. And it looks like he's giving them the confidence to push through. JVM, think about it.
yeah,
They are not supposed to be the starting 11. They are not supposed to be the ones to play that role. If the backups are able to pull their weight like this, what happens when the likes of Frankie de Jong come back? When the likes of Arao come back? When the likes of Gavi, whom they are slowly bringing back into the team? They don't want a repeat of the Ansu Fati situation.
yeah.
How would the team be and how will substitutions be for this coach when all of these people come through? Barcelona are playing amazing football. They went down against Rayo Vallecano and they didn't lose a beat. They didn't lose composure. It looks like they are playing with different levels of confidence this season. And I feel like that would be very, 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 very detrimental for every La Liga team who's underrating Barcelona coming into this season. You get me?
I think you just touched upon this, like that composure, that confidence.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a winning team looks like. And again, no one's jumping
Right.
the gun here. There's still a lot of football to
Mm-hmm.
be played. Barcelona,
Mm-hmm.
as we said, they're inexperienced players. They're gonna show their true colors, or they could show their true
Mm-hmm.
colors. We don't know. And Real Madrid, they
Mm-hmm.
can just pick things back up. And even if they don't, they've got enough
Mm-hmm.
individual talent to where if Mbappe hits a stride, Mbappe can end up scoring
Yeah.
25, 30 goals this year. So no one's
Mm-hmm.
jumping the gun. But the analysis of these first two games is that Real Madrid
Mm-hmm.
have some issues to fix, And hopefully
Facts.
these small problems don't pile up throughout the season. And Barcelona,
Facts.
yes, Real Madrid have a better squad and they spent more money, and even in a sense they just made better deals overall. But
Mhm.
there's a way to beat them, and that way is by playing great football. And Barcelona so far
Facts.
have played great football.
They have JVM. They have, per my own rating, Kubarsi, Bernal, and Yamin Yamal had one of the most exceptional matches in against Rayo Vallecano.
Yeah,
The only other two people that I would put as very exceptional performances would be what? Pedri, who probably is the best player of the game, and Rafinha, whom I was amazed at his performance in a new role. You
yeah,
get me? But those kids, they are all 17 years old. Even though Yamin Yamal is getting all of the shine,
they're very young.
Bernal played 90 minutes, 17 years old, played 90 minutes. JVM. I was so impressed. His current market value isn't up to €1 million.
1 million is crazy.
If he continues like this till the end of the season, this kid is going to move from 900K market value to at least 40 M's.
And again, it just goes to speak up
Danny,
about the La
yeah,
Masia, and it
mm-hmm.
just gives me like late 2000s vibes all over again. Real
All
Madrid
over again.
and the Galacticos and Barcelona and the
Mm-hmm.
academy and the great manager.
Mm-hmm. Facts. Their new signing, Danny Olmo, came in for how many minutes and got a goal?
Almost
Free
different.
flowing football, bro. Free flowing football. Free flowing football. You get me? So, like, Real Madrid should up their game, man. All of the other teams should up their games, because, these people are coming. They are coming. So
Yeah.
far, they are the only team who has won every single game. Every other La Liga team has either draw or lost a game.
And also the final thing I want to say about that is that that begins to create blind confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And just taking it away from football here for a second, but if you think of any
Mm-hmm.
like successful story that we've had, just in
Mm-hmm.
history in general, it usually becomes
Yeah.
with an individual with a confidence that they can just do something.
Facts.
Even in
Facts.
an allegorical sense, like David and Goliath, like no
Mm-hmm.
one, David
Mm-hmm.
just put in his head that he could beat Goliath. This blind
Mm-hmm.
confidence, it gives all of these players boosts to carry on throughout the season, and this is
Facts.
something that Real Madrid, at least if I was a Real Madrid player, I did not want to happen. I did not want to have to deal
Mm-hmm.
with Barcelona in a year where we meant to be
Mm-hmm.
dominant.
Yep. In a year that you're supposed to be the top guns.
Yeah,
Don't let, and this is what they do to us every year.
yeah. Final,
This is
final,
what they do to us every year.
final verdict on that. I thought that was a very good talk and a very good analysis on La Liga. Really and truly, it's
Mm-hmm.
like again we'll be talking about Real Madrid and Barcelona all throughout the season. These are the two biggest clubs in world
Mm-hmm.
football. It's impossible for us not
Yeah.
to. But
Mm-hmm.
something else that's brewing up. We're going to talk about PSG as well in a second because they've also been
Uh,
playing amazing football.
mm-hmm.
But there's a deal that's been bothering me for the past few days, and it's the Jadon
Mm-hmm.
Sancho and Raheem Sterling deal. And this has to be the worst, the most disgusting rumor I've heard all summer. A swap deal between Jadon Sancho and Raheem Sterling. It's
Mm-hmm.
like it's like both teams are just trying to lose. You have a net negative in Sancho. You've got a net negative in Raheem Sterling. You're gonna swap them over, and what's meant to happen? They're both meant to just start getting good all of a sudden. No, both teams are still
Mm-hmm.
going to be hindered by these two players, and I think it's way worse
Mm-hmm.
for Manchester United because Raheem Sterling is almost 30 and he's going to be on 300k a week to be on the bench.
Facts. Mm-hmm.
That is a joke. That is a
What does
bad
that say?
joke.
What does that say? You let go of a younger player whom, after a good season at Dortmund, has some value.
Yeah,
You don't let go of that young player for who?
Raheem
For who?
Sterling. For
Raheem
what?
Sterling, who is at the end of everything. This shouldn't even be a conversation or a discussion. This even shouldn't be on like on any team's radar. But almighty Manchester United would find a way to put stuff like this on their radar.
Okay, not too much into
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
But yeah, it's
yeah.
just it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any
Like,
sense because then it's like, okay, best case scenario for Sterling first is like
hmm
he comes to us and gets maybe a 2 year deal, a 3 year deal, but it's going to be on 300k a week.
hmm
What's the point of getting rid of Varane? What's the point of getting rid
hmm
of all of these other players if you're going to bring in Raheem
hmm
Sterling? It's just going to mess up the structure all over again. And again,
Yep.
people have been making comparisons to the Mkhitaryan and Alexis Sanchez deal, and I feel like it's impossible not to because it was also a deal where both Arsenal and Manchester United lost.
hmm
So yes, I think it's very similar in the sense that this is a horrible deal for both teams. And
I don't see how it serves both teams. Like, honestly, when I saw it, I honestly in the beginning thought it was like one of those joke things.
yeah,
Like ha 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 ha. You get me? Like making stories in the off season. You understand? And JVM, we have followed football for a while now, so we know how to sieve through some of the fake stories. Sometimes it might catch us off guard a little, and we will like be a little excited, but we'll be like, come back to reality. This isn't happening. You get me? Like seeing a headline, oh, Manchester United is trying to sign Cristiano Ronaldo back. Ah, it's easy for you to throw it out. You get me? So this thing in the beginning, I thought it was something like that, but I saw like just a few more outlets talking about it, and like it was like, yo, are we really going to do that as a team? Like look, okay, Chelsea, you have 47 players on your books. The coach was talking about, oh, only 21 players were in training this today, 20 players trained yesterday. Like, yo, man, nigga, what are you doing, bro? Like, you guys even have the coach confused. Like, 47. He's tired, bro. That is why he's doing that to Raheem Sterling. Like, the coach is tired. Like, now look, Raheem, you can go. Like, right now, I'm sure if probably Enzo tells him he wants to go, he'll be like, Enzo, go. Like, it's another problem out of my hand. He can let his best player go just because of squad depth. You get me? So I understand the frustration as a Chelsea fan or a Manchester fan with all of these swap deals. I don't get the reason why um Ten Hag wouldn't put ego aside and if you guys have put everything past each other, you've seen how well he was used in Dortmund last season. You've seen how well confidence building has improved or improved his performances last season.
yeah,
This team went all the way to what? The Champions League. They went to the
final.
Champions final, right? They went to the Champions League final and had a potential or had the potential to win. Had they not been like them facing like a juggernaut like Real Madrid. You get me? They had the potential to win. This team did exceptional in the Bundesliga, or they did well in the Bundesliga, but they did exceptional in the Champions League. Off of performances from players like Sancho. So let's put ego aside, Ten Hag, and know that my Manchester United sting has been a funny one. So how about I put ego aside and I find a way to work with this boy, get what I can get from him, and the rest, look, Manchester United fans would understand you if after a successful season you want to let go of some players, even though they are beloved. They would understand you if you get stabilize the team and want to get rid of some. Now, Manchester United fans don't have the level of confidence you have in yourself. They don't have that confidence because look, they were okay with you being sacked in the off season. Nobody came to your defense.
No,
That is how is
so,
it?
some did, but there were also a lot of fans that wanted Ten Hag out.
Yeah.
It was like a 50-50, 60-40 at best. A lot of fans wanted him out,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of fans also
Mm-hmm.
wanted him still to stay.
Yeah. And the reasoning from fans wanting him to stay was the options available.
Yeah,
The reasoning for fans wanting him to stay was what? The devil you know is better than the angel you don't know. More like, you get me? So they are like, okay, the names we are hearing, let us keep Ten Hag. You understand me? With the names we are hearing, let us keep Ten Hag. And with the names that don't even want to take this Manchester United job, let's not give it to somebody. You understand? So, they should do better. This EPL team sometimes be wilding, bro. They should do better.
Yeah. Now rumors. I don't know if they're true or not, but of course with Jadon Sancho, um, they've been, a lot of rumors surrounding Sancho. Excuse me, but it looks like he may be going to Juventus. I'm just checking it
Mm-hmm.
now, and again, it would be good for him, I guess. It would be good for
Mm.
Juventus. If they
It
get
would be exceptional.
if we can get some more money in the books, then that's good for us. Anyways, I
Mm-hmm.
just want the deadwood gone anyway, so that's fine by me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just staying on the topic of Manchester United again for 1 second. I just want to talk
Mm-hmm.
about this one signing, and then I think this is going to segue us perfectly into PSG next. But Manchester United signing Mano Ugarte, finally getting this deal done. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if it was you or if it was me. We compared
Mm-hmm.
Ugarte to a Kante type player. Not saying he's going
Yeah.
to be like Kante, but one, he's very young.
Mm-hmm.
He's 23 years old, so I feel
Facts.
like that's good. But the way he plays, the way Ugarte plays, he's a destroyer.
Mm-hmm.
Ugarte is
Mm-hmm.
able to really be able to destroy the opposition's build up play, and
Build up
with United,
midfield
with
in
players
general.
like Rashford, Sancho, Ahmad, Hoyland,
Mm-hmm.
and then Bruno Fernandes, they're going to be able to hit them on the counter. But just
Mm-hmm.
overall, in games like against City, against
Mm-hmm.
Liverpool, against Arsenal,
Mm-hmm.
teams that like to keep the ball, we're going to be able to actually have a fighting chance in the middle of the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Casemiro also gave us that, and I feel like Casemiro this year is going to prove a lot of people wrong, because last year
Facts.
Casemiro was thrown under the bus.
He
Casemiro's
was
going
a
to show
shadow of himself.
Yeah, Casemiro's going to show everyone what he really is. But to have
Mm-hmm.
Casemiro and Ugarte on the same team, and then having the exciting Kobe Menu, it's like this is kind of a dreamland, and I just want to
The
see.
the
I just
mm-hmm.
really want to see how Ten Hag wants to work, because right now that midfield, and he's also got Mason Mount. I don't want too many excuses this year with that midfield. You have to find a way to make it work.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, if I would speak about the overall performance of the team against Brighton, it was quite appalling as a whole team, and I don't get the reason why he had a total revamp of like the squad, like
Uh,
a total revamp that I didn't understand. Rashford is still a shadow of himself. Mason Mount isn't performing like the way he's supposed to perform. And what is Bruno? Oh God. Like, what did he do to Bruno? In all of these years we've seen Bruno play for Manchester United, did you ever think Bruno would do good in the number 9 role?
yeah, as a first time, especially when you've got Zexi on the bench, it makes no sense. I understand what.
Zerski, after, sorry not to cut
Yeah,
you
go
off,
on.
Zerski, after like a performance he had in, you get me?
Yeah,
Like,
after scoring a
you don't
goal.
reward a, yeah, you don't, and bring him back into the team, what, very early because you realize your mistake.
Yeah,
What are you telling this kid?
again, Ten Hag.
It was appalling, bro.
Ten Hag is another one of those managers that this year there are no more excuses. I've got Ten
Facts.
Hag on that list. I've got Arteta close to that list. I've got Ancelotti on that list. I've
Mm-hmm,
got
mm-hmm.
there's a lot of managers on that list. I'm gonna have to go through them, but Ten Hag is number one on that
Mm-hmm.
list, because
Facts.
the board this summer transfer window done a fantastic
Mm-hmm,
job.
mm-hmm,
You got a striker, you got a fullback, you got a
mm-hmm,
centre back,
mm-hmm.
and you got a CDM.
Yep. Every position you needed to cover.
The main positions we needed covering were addressed, and they also got rid of Deadwood, like Varane and Kambuala. and McTominay. We get Sancho. We're getting rid of these players, and we're building a squad
Mm-hmm.
where you can be successful. That's why I don't really want
Mm-hmm.
any excuses for
Are you
Ten
guys
Hag.
getting rid of McTominay?
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be going to Napoli.
But he played this weekend.
Yeah, it looks like he be going to that's the thing about the summer transfer window going all the way up into the 31st of August. Is you get deals
Mm-hmm.
like that. Is you know you got it is that deal isn't going to be done for free. Money needs to be put back into the
Mm-hmm.
club, and Ineos they've
Facts.
made the point this year that if we're going to sell a lot of players, we're also going to have to sell a lot of players. Our club is going to begin to function like a
Mm-hmm.
proper business, and you know
Facts.
I've said this before. I don't care. I don't care if the club makes
Mm-hmm.
a lot of money or if they make little money. I don't care. I just want the football on the pitch to be
Mm-hmm.
good. But yeah,
Facts.
but I guess
That
from
is, yeah.
I guess from that
Mm-hmm.
standpoint, it makes sense.
Facts. We are fans. We want to see good football
Yeah.
or amazing football.
But yeah. Finally on Ugarte, let me just read some stats to you guys. Ugarte last year completed 1.6 interceptions per 90,
Mm-hmm.
3.9 tackles per 90. He won the possession
Wow.
back 1.2 times per 90, recovered the ball back 7.2 times per 90, and completed one clearance per 90. Now his
Wow.
progressive stats and his passing stats aren't as impressive. For
Mm-hmm.
example, his long ball accuracy is only that of 78%. His chipped
Mm-hmm.
passes accuracy is only that of 67%. But yet again, I don't want us to point the finger at Ugarte because he's not a great creator. That is not,
Long ball passer.
yeah, that is
Mm-hmm.
not what we brought him in for. He was not that at Sporting. He was not that at PSG. If we were meant to
Mm-hmm.
sign that, we should have looked for someone else because this guy's going to be a
Facts.
destroyer. He's going
Mm-hmm.
to be a destroyer, and it's going to allow us to. He's going to allow us, or he's going to allow more time for players like Bruno and Kobe Mainu
Mm-hmm.
to keep the ball and look for those chances for our strikers and Hoyland, Xerxes, Rashford, Garnacho, and Ahmad to finish those chances.
The perfect Casemiro replacement.
Yeah, and I've said this before as well. Is like there's no point on signing Onana, Delict, Lenny Euro, Mazraoui, all these defenders if you're not going to have someone there to protect them. And Ugarte is going to do exactly that. That's the number
Exactly
one
that.
thing. That's the number one thing I know
Mm-hmm.
Ugarte is going to come into this team and do. He's going to be able to shield that defense. He's going to be able to shield the likes of Delict and Euro and Martinez and etc. But anyways,
Facts.
do you have anything else to say about Ugarte before we move on, Yusuf?
No, I was happy for the signing. I was happy for the signing. You get me? Sometimes, when Manchester United is good, the whole league is good. We enjoy football coming from like the
Top
we
teams.
enjoy football coming from the top teams when everybody that is involved is good. So yeah, Ugarte is a very good signing. I like the fact that they invested in the team. I want Ten Hag to like take the bull by the horn and start doing something with what he has been given. You understand me? I don't want the fans to be let go again. I don't want this league to be easy for City because if it's easy for City for another year, it begins to feel so like routine and
Yeah,
fans are beginning to feel like us watching the games don't even matter because these people are going to win it.
yeah. But yeah, that's it on Ugarte. And quickly and swiftly segueing off Ugarte, we've got PSG and the brilliant football they've played over these first
Right,
two games. And this is something we've been
right.
saying for a long time. And it's the
Mm-hmm,
fact that PSG, as the biggest team in France, with the financial ability to do whatever they want,
mm-hmm.
there shouldn't be a world where PSG, aren't competing at the highest level. And by the highest level, I mean
Right.
the Champions League. And with the way PSG have
Mm-hmm.
been playing so far, granted, they're still on a league on, but with the way they've been
Right.
playing, winning 6-0, winning 4-1, winning comfortably, and in a dominant manner, this could be the start of
Mm-hmm.
something.
It is the start of something. It is the start of something. And I'm beyond impressed. PhD kind of have found their rhythm. Letting go of whoever they let go of
Yeah.
kind of brought like a rejuvenated squad. Mind you, I don't know how well this squad is going to feel against the big guns in the Champions League, but they are playing amazing football. For the first time, I watched the 6-0 game. I
Yeah.
watched the 6-0 game. And for the first time, I've seen an overall team performance. Like everybody on the team, if we are going to rate performances from 1 to a 10, everybody was above 8.
Wow.
Everybody was above 8.
Wow.
Probably the goalkeeper around 7 because he didn't have much to do, understandably, you know. But everybody was about above 8. But Hakimi was 9.5.
Yeah.
Look, he keeps making a statement for being one of the best at his position. He's a leader in this squad without even, like, indicating he's a leader. You get me? If you look at the team and you look at the way they are performing, you could see Hakimi controlling the youngsters, his age mates. Hakimi being the person they can talk to or go back to. And let me give Barcola his shout out for just bursting into the scene and being this force. It looks like Barcola either has similar stats or better stats than Yamin Yamal, but Yamin Yamal is making all of the headlines. Some players are not just being looked at. Let me give a shout out this week too to Neves
John Evans is
for
brilliant.
how seemingly, yeah, John Neves, for how seemingly his what
Transition to the team.
merged or transitioned into this team.
Yeah.
The only problem I have with the Zaire, Neves, and Vitinho midfield is height and strength
Yeah. Like in the Champions League, that midfield,
in the Champions League.
like
It's height and
I
strength.
guess like a Rodri is going to be hard
Yeah, they are going to struggle.
against like
You get me?
what's his name? Uh, a Camavinga, a Valverde.
Kamavinga, Chouameni,
Yeah.
you understand me?
When
Even a Ugarte,
yeah, when the game gets
Vega,
when the game gets more physical, it's going to slow down for PSG.
you get
But
me?
for now, in terms of just quality, they've got Zé, Neves, Vitinha, and then they've got what's his name, Fabian Ruiz on the bench. You got
Mm-hmm.
Fabian Ruiz, who's arguably player of the tournament, coming off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That is that is how amazing that is. But I feel like Fabian Ruiz is going to be their magic touch.
Yeah.
It's going to be their magic touch. I feel like in matches where they need the height, they're going to see the value of Fabian Ruiz.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, Kimpembe is injured. Mind you, Hernandez is injured. Mind you, Bernat is out.
Yeah.
Mind you, Gonzalo Ramos is injured. They are playing. They are playing Asensio in the false nine role, and I feel like he should remain in that role. Asensio is amazing in the false nine role. In their previous game, he didn't score a goal. In their previous game, he didn't score a goal, even though I know he's being played in the false nine role, probably because of Gonzalo Higuain and all of those things. In their previous game, he played in his natural role. He was exceptional. But in today's game, in the false nine role, link up plays, movements, wow, I was impressed. I was impressed.
Yeah. And again, it's PSG should, of course, be winning the League A. Let's see if they can have a dominant season like Bayern Leverkusen did in the
Mm-hmm.
Bundesliga last year.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be very good
Mm-hmm.
for them. But again, with
Yeah.
PSG, they've already dominated French football. Even if they don't
Mm-hmm.
win it this year again, which I don't think is going to happen, but even if they weren't
Mm-hmm.
able to win it, we already know,
Mm-hmm.
at least when it comes to modern French football, they've
Yeah.
been the
Yeah,
best.
the Kings.
It's
Mm-hmm.
just that final step to win the Champions League
To the
that
Champions
they
League.
really need. I don't think they'll do it
This
this year.
might be the squad.
No,
This might be the squad. It might not be this year, but this might be the squad if they grow together.
yeah, I don't think this is the squad because I still think they need more firing power up front. But I feel
Mm-hmm.
like their defense
Mm-hmm.
is solid. I feel like their midfield is arguably the best midfield in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So yeah, it just comes down to that firing power up front. But again, if there's a manager that can figure things like that out,
Hmm.
is Luis Enrique, one of the greatest managers we've ever seen, especially when it
Yeah,
comes to modern football.
football,
But
modern
yeah, it's
warfare.
with PSG, the final stance is always, can they take that step forwards to be a European, uh, or at least can they beat the champions or in the biggest stage, because they've already been to a final, they've been to semi-finals,
Hmm.
they've beaten big clubs, but it's about winning it
Hmm.
and finally lifting that trophy. I don't think it will be this
Yeah.
year, because I think
Hmm.
City beat them, I think Real Madrid beat them, I feel like Bayern
Hmm.
beat them, but outside of
Hmm.
those three teams, I give them a very good fighting chance. I even think Arsenal beat them, but outside of those
Yeah, yeah,
three
they have a
teams,
fighting chance against everybody.
yeah, outside of those three teams, they've got a good fighting chance against everyone else. So I expect to see them, if they, if nothing bad happens, I expect to
Hmm.
see them in the final four.
Facts.
Yeah. But again, too early. But from what we've seen, that's the
Hmm. So
verdict.
far.
Yeah. Circling back to Real Madrid very quickly. I just want to touch upon this player. How happy were you with Endrick's
I was very
debut goal?
impressed, I like the fact that he didn't hesitate.
Yeah.
He came, saw a chance. Look, this is the reason why he's a wonder kid. This is the reason why he's a player that I was sought after. Because not every kid comes in with this type of hunger. Not every kid, look, people will talk about, oh, he doesn't look like he's skilled. He doesn't look like he's that. He doesn't look like he's tall enough for the next level. He doesn't have this. He doesn't have that.
Yeah.
But if he's able to do whatever he did, Aguero was never tall.
Yeah. Messi was never tall.
But Messi was never tall. But he found ways to what leverage his qualities. He's found ways to leverage his closeness to the ground. He found ways to leverage his like lower body strength. You understand me? So if this is the case, and if this is what is going on, and if this is what is happening, then I feel like he has every tool to what perform at the next level. And he has like 2, 3 years to learn the game. He has 2, 3 years to gel with the squad. He doesn't have to come in and be a contributor right away. He can like slowly gain his footing. He's if it's a team like Manchester United, they'll be needing him to what, prove something very early. But Real Madrid is taking it slow with him, and I feel like the future is bright. Vinny came as a raw talent and was able to develop into one of the best players in the world.
Yeah.
So there's a possibility this kid could what do the unthinkable.
Yeah, and I've said this before about Endrick, and it's like he's such a natural finisher. You look at that
Hmm.
finish, you look how he placed his foot, and you look at where the ball went.
Hmm.
He's such a
Hmm.
natural finisher, and as well as you said, the instinct to not be afraid to
Hmm.
straight away get that chance
Hmm.
and bury that chance. It's
Yeah,
like these things, there are certain
you
things
can't teach.
yeah, as I was about to say, that there's certain things you can't teach in football, and I feel like
Mhm.
Endrick is showing that he's got that natural talent, he's got that natural ability to
Facts.
be able to put
Hmm.
those chances behind the net. And I feel like with
Facts.
enough time, how many years did we give Vinny? Three,
Two,
three,
3 years.
yeah,
Yeah.
three,
Hmm.
three, 4 years we gave Vinny. So I don't see why we can't give Endrick that time as well to blossom
Yep.
into being a top striker.
Hmm. Especially after a debut like this.
Yeah, it was a fantastic debut.
Yep.
But yes, Yusuf, are there any other topics that are on your mind that you would like to talk about?
Um. Yeah. So far, the season so far, I would want to talk about kind of like I want to talk about football in general so far this season.
Yeah,
And I like the excitement behind football, but I also want to speak about the fact that we've had a couple of years of bar, and I should see improvements in bar every season.
yeah,
It shouldn't be a regress because I believe in the fact that the more we go and the more things we do in football, the bar and all of those things have to what, improve with the times. You understand me?
yeah.
I'm still seeing situations where in the Barcelona game yesterday, a bad decision and ruled out Barcelona's goal and all of those things. Even though it's the right decision, it took a while before the decision was made. It took a while before the coach, the referee felt like he needed to go and watch. I think there should be that timing where, if it's in doubt, ref, you just go watch it. You don't have to wait for other people to watch it and tell you, you know what, you might want to watch this. I feel like, go and watch it and make your decision. Don't even, if they find doubt, you go straight away, watch it and make your decision. You understand me? You shouldn't leave it to, like, people saying, oh this or oh that, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is one thing that I wanted to touch on.
And yeah, for me, really, is just mainly the other topics I would talk about was Chelsea. I feel like Chelsea were able to bounce back beautifully from that City
Hmm.
game, and
Hmm.
they've got a manager who's able to
Yeah.
get to work things out and get things done. And they've got a squad. Yes,
Hmm.
we make fun of Chelsea having a lot of players, but when you actually begin
Yeah.
to analyze the quality in that squad, it kind of becomes
Hmm.
scary because Chelsea, they've
Facts.
got the likes of João Felix, they've got the likes of Cole
Hmm.
Palmer, they've got the likes
Hmm.
of, if Jackson and Madueke, if they can be consistent, they could blossom into great players.
Hmm.
They've got
Hmm.
arguably one of the best midfield duos in Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez.
Hmm.
So this
Hmm.
team is a team. If they're able to work, if they're able to make things work, it's a team that could end up
Hmm.
in the top four. Especially when you look at what Chelsea's form looked like
Yeah.
at the end of last season. Chelsea was a team
Hmm.
that were really going for it at the end of the season. So if Chelsea
Facts.
can come back to playing in that same way, in that same manner, and if
Hmm.
Maresca is able to get this team to join the proper way, they've got enough talent in that team to be able to finish in the top four.
Facts. True. Very true.
But
Very
yes,
true. Chelsea has the ability.
but yes, guys.
That is very true.
Any final messages, Yusuf?
No, we are trying very much to be very consistent with
Yeah.
our content. There's lifing, there's a lot of things happening with life with us and all of those things. So I want to tell people to bear with us, to bear with us. Sometimes it's not because we don't want to come on, but we just have day jobs. We have like things that we are doing that is like, hampering us from like, getting on anytime we want to just get on. So I'm just entreating people to just, keep supporting the brand, keep supporting what we are doing. In due time, you are going to hear more from us. In due time, you wouldn't have to wait for the content to drop, and it will drop. You get me? Just keep supporting the movement.
And I would say, I was going to talk about this as well. It's like this is the 10th episode. This started off.
Mm-hmm.
We of course had Player's Choice, but this started off as an idea of just I was wanting to talk about sports more often. Player's Choice
Mm-hmm.
gave us that
Mm-hmm.
avenue, but of course that ended. So
Mm-hmm.
this is the 10th episode, and the fact that we do one a week. I think there was a week or two where we did two in a week, but most of
Yeah.
the time is one a week. So we're talking about roughly 8 weeks. That's about 2 months
Mm-hmm.
of regular,
Mm-hmm.
consistent content. So yeah, as Yusuf said,
Content. Yeah.
just bear with us. It's going to be a long season, and if we
Mm-hmm.
can at least bang out 30 episodes this season in a 36-week campaign,
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't be bad.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, bear with us, guys, and,
Facts.
and, and the content will continue to grow. If you watch the show, you can already see all the things we got going on, the topics we prepare, the graphics, the way the show
Mm-hmm.
looks, the quality of
Mm-hmm.
Yusuf's camera, my camera, the microphones we're using. So just bear with us, guys, and the content will
Mm-hmm.
continue to improve.
We are putting in the work.
Yeah. We,
We are
we,
really putting in the work.
we appreciate all of you guys that have watched so far, guys. We'll see you again soon. And as per usual, as I said at the end of most of my videos, this is only the beginning of something special.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll see you guys
Mm-hmm.
soon.
Peace.
See you soon.